It's going to be a great experience. I know that they really need our help there, and I can't imagine what it's like for them, for the people that lost their homes right now and just have nothing and they had no say-so in it. It's horrible, but I'm excited to get a chance to help them out.
I'm Anna and I'm a senior.
Hi, I'm Jessica. I'm a senior.
I'm Zach Forbes. I'm in 11th grade.
I've been on 3 different trips. I went to Nashville, Tennessee, New Orleans, Louisiana, and Galveston, Texas.
So when I went to Africa, it was about over there, but seeing something here is going to be a lot different. It's going to be a lot more real. The reality is going to sink in that this is happening to people and it sucks.
As we were driving around, I realized that this is nothing like Royal Oak. The town's really small, rugged stores, not a lot of commercial, no commercial businesses. I saw a Subway maybe.
They are very anxious and very glad that we're here. This is the path of the tornado that you're seeing through here. All debris has to be within 10 feet of that road. If we go further than 10 feet, the trucks will come by, they won't be able to get the debris. So.
If we can figure out where to put her pile,
Yeah.
but it's not in driveways. Are you Gail? I'm her daughter. Are you down? I'm here with the National Relief Network. We're here to help today. You're entirely welcome.
We met the homeowners, and they both seemed really sweet, and they seemed so normal in the sense as they acted normal as if nothing had happened. They just had such a good attitude. They were really positive. They were really thankful that we were there. And they worked with us. They didn't just stand and watch us. They worked with us, and they were so appreciative.
I've never been through this before, so I don't even know where to start.
It's their whole house, kitchen area, and pool was just gone. They had nothing. It's not like they could plan for it either. And like they said, they just built the house and had a Christmas in it. And I just think that's horrible. That could happen just like that. They seem like real nice people, and they really don't deserve that. I mean, nobody does.
She had a bunch of Christmas decorations, and people would drive around through her house to look at it. So, just a bunch of pictures.
When I was looking through everything, I was at first I was oh, this is just trash, but then I thought about it as if it was mine, and I realized that little things that were even kind of a little bit tampered or dirty, I would still appreciate because I lost so much from the tornado, and I couldn't imagine what it would be like to just have your house be blown away and all your stuff be scattered on your yard. So it was really eye-opening, and definitely made me more aware of how it would feel to be in their situation.
Just the most horrifying thing that has ever happened to us. I've never thought that much about tornadoes.
Even though they've hit everywhere.
Yeah,
right?
they've hit all around us. But you just don't expect it to hit your house. It was just heartbreaking to see what all had happened and what all we had lost.
I mean, going into this, I was thinking, it wasn't going to be that hard, but it's hard work. It's really hard work, but it's worth it. Every second of it, no matter how tired you get, you're doing something for other people that deserve that help. Like you sort of look back and say, oh, I really helped someone, and kind of changes you emotionally and mentally. And
It was like a miracle when we got the phone call Sunday night saying there was a group from Michigan wanting to come and help us. And we just couldn't imagine kids, the youth from Michigan, wanting to come this far and help us down here in Toadvine, Alabama.
One of the sisters, it was her birthday today, so we sang happy birthday to her as a group, and she got a little emotional and she started tearing up a little as she was thanking us, and that's when I realized that like what we're doing is really going to change a life.
Oh, thank y'all so much. I hope this never happens to you, and but if it does, I hope you have as many wonderful friends, because that's what I consider you now, is a friend. And I pray that God will always take care of you through your lifetime, as He has us. Thank you.
Thank you.
We never did hear the siren because the wind was so harsh. Glass was already hitting the house. Trees was already falling. But it was the most eerie sound. People say it was like a train, but it was like a muffled train. It was, it sucked all the air out from around you, and it made you feel like you were in a vacuum. And then things started hitting the house, jarring even the floor of the bathroom. It seemed like it went on forever, but it couldn't have been more than 30 seconds. My husband got up out of the tub, and there was an eerie, eerie quiet. It was no sound whatsoever. No wind, no rain, just a void. Then it was over. It was over, and the only sound was there was lightning and thunder in the distance going towards Birmingham, and it was over.
What? Good news about the site we're about to see is everybody was okay. It's serious. So you're going to see wreckage. What we want you to know is, unlike the previous homes you're working on, these folks have no insurance. What you're about to see is all they have left. Okay, they have nothing else, and right now they have no idea what they're going to do. So they have a couple of kids. Those kids need some toys, things like that. We're going to do a lot of salvage. Look around for things that you can keep, things that they want to keep. They're saying that they want to keep the clothing that you'll see in this place. We'll check it out, see what we can do, but that's how desperate they are when you look at what they've got left.
It's kind of
of amazing. You know, we always know that we come down to help families in need, and this obviously, just like the one that we did help or have helped this week, need everything that we can possibly salvage. They literally, like Steve said, have nothing that's left for them to be able to carry on life as what used to be, so to speak. I want you to appreciate, as we do by walking around, how lucky they were to be alive.
Got some bent legs. The two little kids, the whole family was in here.
There was a trailer and like through the middle, a tornado went through it and just, there's two sides left, but the complete middle was just torn down and the family was actually inside the building.
They didn't have very much, and all that they had was just on site and all over the place. So we were trying to find as much as we could that was salvageable, and it was really interesting because like you would find like a book that was soaking wet and you're like, well, this probably meant something to them. And then the little girl, all her toys were everywhere. But when she came on site, she seemed really happy to see that her toys were on a pile for her and that she could get them back.
Well, it started to be. There were letters and things.
Just because somebody cares about you doesn't mean.
Who lives here? And this is my Jeannie that lives there, and this is everybody.
Like words can't even describe how unbelievably atrocious this was and just how this could happen to someone. I just can't get that through my head that this actually happens to people. The lady was talking to us and she just was so overjoyed and just, I started to tear up and almost cry because it was just, she was so thankful, and just to see her house sort of come back together piece by piece.
And it stopped the trailer from moving, and that's how, you know God's with you anyway when you come out of something like this. But when I see it, you just realize to the extent how well He took care of you and what He did for you, you know?
It was really nice because later in the day the family actually came while we were working, and the lady was looking around and she found like a salt and pepper shaker, and she was just really excited about it, and it was so cute because it was something that you wouldn't think would be a big deal, but it meant so much because it was like a part of her house and something that she used every day.
The little girl just came back from school and she had a Valentine's Day dance and she's all dressed up, and again puts the reality to their situation. So it's scary, it's sad, but in the end I'm sure it'll be beautiful because we all did this together and we're all making good effort, good spirits, and changing lives.
It's unbelievable, the feeling I felt. I wanted to cry. It was so sad. She she was just ecstatic and just so happy, you know. She kept saying, oh, this is God, you know, this is God's will and all that. And I mean, she even said, if you don't believe in God, you have to believe in him after this, because it's just unbelievable. They would have not survived. They would have been completely gone. And they have 2 kids. It's just sad, you know, the kids' toys and stuff laying on the ground. They had nothing. We had to save practically a majority of the stuff that was on the ground. We saved a lot of things. It was really good because they didn't have insurance, so none of that gets back to them. They have nothing. Everything is gone. If we weren't there, like honestly, they wouldn't have anything at all. They would have to start their lives over. They would just, it just sucks. And I'm just really glad to be a part of this. I'm really glad to help out people like that.
All right, so tell us what happened this morning.
This morning was one of those things that happens a lot in disaster areas. There's a disconnect between the national and the state and the local agencies that are trying to figure out, you know, where the sites need to be cleared and where they're not. In this area, Center Point, we've got 300 different sites that need work. But there's a huge bureaucracy that decides what order they get done in and what kind of paperwork needs to get filed. Unfortunately, what happened was some of the sites that we had prepped for ourselves and were designated to us, some other volunteer groups got to ahead of us. And since we had to fill out some paperwork as well, that complicated things further. So really what it turned out to be was us spending a good part of the late morning and around lunch looking for new sites that weren't originally sent to us. Yeah, we drove around for a couple hours today, but now that we've got some sites in front of us and we're scouting out some new ones, we'll have the rest of the week. We'll be pretty busy.
It's kind of weird to see the contrast and see like who kind of was really unlucky in this situation and who didn't really have to like endure much from the storm. I guess storms don't really discriminate though, because anybody, we were in like a lower class neighborhood yesterday, and today we're in like a more suburban, like a more populated area. So I guess storms really just will devastate wherever they please.
Down. Right? And your hand slides all the way down.
Come on now, Steve.
Ocean.
Steve, now, Steve.
Ocean.
Down.
Pull all the way through.
All right, line it up before you...
You want to line it up? Yeah, like that.
Yeah, when I look around and see like a more populated area like this devastated, it helps me relate to home more so, because like this is the kind of neighborhood we live in back at home, and it kind of like puts the tone like this could happen to us too.
Let go of the rope, please.
No pain, no.
Oh, really?
John, where is it?
Right at the edge of the floor.
You can see obviously that there's nothing they could salvage here.
Yeah.
Beams are looking like they're in pretty good shape, but you can see over there they're much weaker.
Yeah.
That's why I'm not putting people inside the space.
That the tornado really didn't do much damage, but some electrical wires came loose and caught on fire, so the house burned. Like literally, it didn't burn down, but the inside is just all black. I went upstairs and it's just black tar and ashes and just like gooey, just dripping black and just falling apart.
I couldn't tell for her, but they look like really old photographs or just like a drawings that she did. She had a couple African-style church paintings that told me a little bit about like maybe she has a cultural type of past or something like that. I don't know. It's fun looking at other people's things like that, try to figure out what they are, who they are.
I'll bet you that's old. I mean, the mattress probably isn't as good, but maybe the stuff.
But she was a very nice lady, very Southern. You could tell she was previously from Louisiana, and the saddest part about her losing this home was the fact that it was her second loss. She was a victim of Hurricane Katrina, and she came here after losing her house to the hurricane. So, I mean, now she lost one to the tornadoes here in Alabama. So, I wish her the best. And like, it was a really sad story.
This is the house we're trying to take the whole house down. This is the first thing we've ever done this big for this trip. It's one of the more fun things, getting to smash stuff and take down a house.
We really are all in this together, and I was looking around at how beautiful it is that people like that never really talked to each other all came together to lift up one thing to help someone we didn't even know, and I think that's kind of the definition of like teamwork and doing the right thing.
How am I feeling about this trip? This is a wonderful trip. It's a lot of work. It's tiring. It's exhausting.
How does it make you feel on the inside?
How does it make me feel on the inside? It's amazing to see the problems that these people are going through. And you think, if this happened in my house, how would I feel? You want people to help. So it's great to be able to help.
Would you come back on a trip like this again?
I would. Maybe not for a while, but I would.
It's been a great experience, and I only wish I had started doing this earlier, not my senior year.
Would you come back again?
I would come back again if I can get the time off of school next year.
So, I think it's a life-changing experience, and it makes you thankful for what you have.
Would you come back? Yeah, I would have the opportunity.
I feel really satisfied and really impressed by all the hard work everyone's doing. So.
Would you come back?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Here at camp, it's our last night. We're packing up. We are leaving tomorrow. A few days ago, this would have been the happiest day of my life. But now I realize, you know, like I did it. This maybe wasn't the trip for me. Maybe I just wasn't ready for it. But I realized that I can at least handle it. So I think before giving this the happiest day of my life title, I'll just say that I'm just really excited to go home. And I'm gonna miss Alabama, and hopefully I can come back, and I do think I'll do another trip. So it was just really sweet to think that when I leave, they're always gonna remember us. We saved their house, we saved them a lot of money, and we showed them that people care about them. And
this trip helps you rethink your thought process on how grateful you should be for such little things. Kind of sad that we're leaving because I wish I could do more work because it's kind of fun. Once I get on that bus, you know, all I'm going to have is memories and stuff that I can come back to, but hopefully I'll go on another trip. It's been a really good experience here, and I'm probably going to go on more trips in the future.
I feel very warm, a lot of warmth in my heart.
We just couldn't imagine kids, the youth from Michigan, wanting to come this far and help us.
I hope this never happens to you. And but if it does, I hope you have as many wonderful friends. That's what I consider you now.
Y'all ready for this? Better get out your cameras. I said it before. We working in the Bama, 13 hours cruising down on the bus. Want a shower of the rain, don't matter to us. We keep going, cold air blowing, I keep flowing on the track. Robert Gibson, human chainsaw beating like the donut track. Moving all the wood, clearing all the trash. Got no fear, we all volunteer, don't you dare try to hand us cash. Sleeping in the cabins, we playing cards at night. Helping others how we do at the rise of daylight. We might be kinda tired, just a little bit sore, but now the part we all know, bring in the chorus. Where we working?
We're working in the Bama.
Where we working?
We're working in the Bama.
Where we working?
We're working in the Bama.
Time for Dan dancing out of that magma.
And they are going to chill it because you guys are the best. From the graveyard to the bottom, the group won't be coddled. My sense of humor targets you with waddle, waddle, waddle. My own rep beats you, trick or trash or beat you. This is a rhythm my Workin can't cheat you. Ow! I gotta confess, I'm rap, Mama Jess.
You're just a lover, and I see him blowing bubbles, all aware of all the troubles, and just climbing through the rubble subtly. I'm too puzzled, getting closer, we just huddle, planning through our mental muddle, nuzzle through the wreck of brother, cause the solve is stormy puzzle. A to the Bama, we be rolling down south in the tornado panorama, got my fair lips pound, and I pound them with a hammer. Where we working?
We're working in the Bama. So cute.
We're working in the Bama. Where we working?
We're working in the Bama.
Where we working?
We're working in the Bama.
Dancing harder than mad.